Hello, this is Dave and my giraffe. My cat's sleeping today. This is the third segment of the communication skills segment for FS 121, Civility, Reason, and Engagement. The focus of this segment is respectful listening to others. So what is respectful listening? For me, it's seeing and honoring the speaker as a person just like you with an opinion worth listening to and understanding. So here's an exercise to help with this concept. I'm going to give you two examples of behavior, and I'd like you to choose which is an example of respectful listening. The context is that I'm the listener, and I just heard a comment from a speaker at a Hot Topics gathering. Example 1. That was the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Example 2. So which is an example of respectful listening? Right, neither is an example. In one case, I said the words I was thinking, and in the other, I just thought them. Both are prime examples of non-respectful listening. Most of us in this culture have learned not to say what we're thinking in this context, but many of us have learned to think in judgmental terms about what others say, especially when we disagree with them. And both approaches fail to meet the standard of respectful communication. It's important to listen respectfully because if we don't, we tend to forget the humanity of the speaker. And when we forget their humanity, we also forget our own humanity. And when we do that, we lose the ability to listen and be in relationship with the other person. This is also a path toward behavior that denies another humanity, and that leads to a lot of trouble. So what is the skill? How do we address this tendency to think judgmentally? Well, there's a quote by Viktor Frankl, who's a concentration camp survivor and psychologist, that sheds some light on this. It goes like this. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So the skill that helps create respectful listening is being aware of your judgments, putting yourself in this space, and realizing that you don't have to react immediately to what someone says. These judgments are automatic, so an important part of this is listening to yourself and watching your thoughts. And it's really about becoming conversant with your inner experience. Now, this is something that you don't develop overnight, but by working on it, it does help you eventually become better at listening respectfully. And here's a few concrete tips that might help. 1, listen to what the speaker is saying with the implicit assumption that they have something wise and important to say. This goes back to the first video I produced about intention. If we have an intention to really hear the other person and value what they're saying, we can do that. Then secondly, listen with the willingness to be influenced. The whole idea of debate and civil conversation is that we're hearing other people's opinions and trying to move towards decisions that honor everyone's opinions. So it's important in that context to be open to be influenced. And third, listen to where the person is coming from and appreciate that their perspective is valid and represents a part of the larger picture which none of us can see by ourselves. So the assignment that I would like you to do for next week is to describe an incident where you reacted rather than responded, and what was the outcome of that. Then also describe an incident where you were in that gap and you responded rather than reacted, and describe the outcome of that. Then I'd like you just to consider what strategies can help you respond rather than react to future stimuli. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.